Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Interactive Media at UTS in 2016. My name is Andrew Johnston, and I'm the coordinator and organizer of this subject, and also one of the tutors. The purpose of this video really is just to introduce you to the subject and talk a little bit about how it's going to be run, and introduce myself. And then to let you know about the work you will need to do in preparation for the first week of face-to-face classes. So to start with, a little bit about me. As I said, my name is Andrew Johnston, and I'm a senior lecturer in the School of Software here at UTS. I have an interesting background. I have a background in music. So I did an undergraduate degree in music, then subsequent studies in computing and a master's in computing, and I followed that up with a PhD where I tried to combine music and computing by designing interactive sort of audio-visual instruments for musicians to use in live performance. Most recently, I've been working on in a classical theatre company called Stalker Theatre, based in Sydney. We've done a number of shows over the past 4 or 5 years or so, and the most recent one was called Creature. And this was an adaptation of a very sort of classic children's story called Dot and the Kangaroo, in which a little girl gets lost in the Australian bush, and she gets found by a friendly kangaroo, and the two of them sort of have adventures, and eventually Dot finds her way back home. And as you can see in this video that I'm playing here, what I and Andrew Bluff have been doing together is making interactive systems for use in this theatre production. So you can see there's quite large-scale projections on the stage here. We're using infrared motion tracking systems to track the movements of performers and feeding that into all kinds of sort of interactive graphics and so on. So the whole show is based around interactive digital technology of the kind that you will be looking at in this subject. As well as the theatre show, there was a interactive installation that we also created, and the idea was that after the children had seen the theatre show, they would go to a sort of a large room in the back of the theatre, maybe a 15-metre by 10-metre room, give or take, and we put projections on all 4 walls and made a big sort of 360-degree immersive environment, all centred around the sort of Australian bush and the scenes from the theatre show. So the children could run around and interact with that, and their experiences were guided by a teacher, basically, or a guy who sort of was dressed up as a bushman, and he would talk about themes of the environment and animals and humans' impact on the environment and things like that. So there was, quite a strong educational element to it, as well as sort of kids just having fun. But in terms of technology, you could sort of see there we're talking about projections, motion tracking, animations, and things like that. And our research really is all about how to make effective interactive systems like that. What strategies work and what strategies don't work so well. And we're also concerned about looking at the experiences of the performers and the director and the choreographer and so on, and figuring out, well, how does using these systems change the way that they make a performance, and the way that they craft a show, because they really have quite a profound impact if you look at it. And so our research is partly about design and partly about just examining how people respond creatively to these sort of challenges. So one other little thing I'll briefly mention is that's the wrong way to present that, is my research group, which is called the Creativity and Cognition Studios, and this is basically a bunch of people, PhD students and master students and so on, that are working at the intersection of art and technology. And you can check out our webpage. We have a Facebook page as well, where we kind of post the most recent projects we're up to. And you can also check out my personal webpage, andrewjohnston.net, that has a bunch of video links and so on it. So if you're interested in finding out what we do in a bit more depth, please do check that out.